Good morning and welcome to the weekly press conference here at Maydreams Gardens. This is our 4th press conference. And let me tell you, I don't think it's going to rain today, but the wind is sure going out there. So you're going to see that one shrub. It's going to just kind of, yeah, it's really going to be distracting back there. But just ignore it. Let's see, the past week, the spring vegetables are in, the early spring vegetables, I should say. That would be lettuce, spinach, kale, radishes, beets, turnips, onion sets. I also planted out way more sweet peas than I've ever planted, so I'm very excited about that. I found a way to provide some trellising for those at the end of all 6 raised bed vegetable garden rows. So it's going to be really pretty if it turns out. I'm excited about it. I set up the patio, which means I pulled away that tarp that was covering everything, pulled everything out and got it pretty much set up. As in most years, it's 80% set up. The other 20% will probably take until Memorial Day to get set up, but I'll get it done eventually. That's about it. I spent a lot of time on Monday with the houseplants, so they're looking perky, I think. Everyone got a bath, everyone got thoroughly watered, pruned up a little bit, so all good. Now, for the questions. This time I told all those reporters to stay out of the room. We are social distancing, as you know. And, well, truthfully, doing voiceover seemed like a lot of work this morning. So I thought I'll just read the questions and act like that I kicked those reporters out, like Lois Hortlane, Hortense Holove, and the Garden Fairies. The Garden Fairies isn't a story. Anyway, let's go. 4 questions. In years past, you always cleaned out the garage before the gardening season, but you skipped it last year. Will you be doing it this year? Gosh, yes, absolutely. I did get half the garage cleaned up last year. The half that I always get out of the car on, that side is pretty decent. The other side is a pit, and it has a big storage bump out. So I am going to pull out the truck, pull out the SUV, and I'm going to clean that up because there are cobwebs over there, and every time I want to get something, it's like an obstacle course. And this is not the day and age when you want to fall in your garage and end up in the ER. So that's on the schedule. No, there might be before and after pictures. And yes, I do own 1, 2, 3 lawnmowers out there. Yeah, I think it's 3. And no, I only need 1. Let's not talk about it. What advice do you have for people who want to grow vegetables for the first time this year? Oh my gosh, welcome to the club. We are excited to have anybody that wants to grow vegetables. Whether you come to it late or come to it early, I got 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, go to the Cooperative Extension website for your state, and they will have tons of information about how to grow vegetables in your area. They'll have dates on when to plant stuff, the soil conditions, where in the garden, where in the yard, I guess you would put it. Everything you want to know, go to the Cooperative Extension sites. And some of them have some nice videos and even some classes. My other piece of advice is do it and support your local greenhouses and garden centers who will have plenty of vegetable starts for us. And if needed, they will do social distance purchases for you. So you never even have to get out of your car. But anyway, that's my advice. Can you tell us about your new fancy rain gauge? I love my new fancy rain gauge. I'll have to put a link to where I got it. But I am signed up to be a part of this network where I record my rainfall total every single day at 8 a.m. And so I can tell you that between yesterday at 8 a.m. and today at 8 a.m., we got 1.28 inches of rain. And that's the most in a day that we've gotten since I started recording these on March the 9th. So I'll probably do a whole blog post about that. So go to my blog, maydreamsgardens.com, and you'll see that. Next up from the Garden Fairies. We noticed you set up the patio, but as per usual, you've left about 20% as a mess. In years past, it seems like the mess never gets cleaned up. Will you be cleaning it up this year? Oh, nothing like Garden Fairies to keep you honest. Yeah, it does seem like, doesn't it, that there's a few pots and miscellaneous things that never really get anything planted in them, and they kind of sit in the corner of the patio, and you think, I didn't clean that mess up. And so this year I promised to the Garden Fairies, and you'd never break a promise to the Garden Fairies. It is all going to get cleaned up, and it is going to be the best patio setup ever because I anticipate spending a lot of time relaxing on the patio, eating lunch on the patio, and just enjoying some better weather in days ahead. So with that, I don't think there's any other questions. I'm looking forward to a nicer week than last week. The temperatures are beginning to warm up. More flowers are showing up every day. I expect my magnolia may be starting to bloom. I've got one in bloom in the front. Daffodils are in full bloom. Tulips are not going to be very far behind. And all in all, I expect a great week in the garden. So wherever you are, I hope that you have a great week in your garden too. Bye now.